Do you think that you value your taste preferences over the life of an animal?
No.
No, but you do when you eat them, right?
Of course you do.
Right, but do you think your taste?
Think of the animal, though, do you?
No, right. Do you think if you thought about it, it'd make you feel differently?
Oh yeah, I think I would actually.
Yeah, and why do you think it'd make you feel differently?
It's cruelty, really. It's
Yeah.
just life for you, isn't it?
Yeah.
So I understand what you mean.
Yeah, right. How do we justify doing these things to animals then? What justification can we use?
It's cruelty.
It's cruelty.
Is that what this is about, man?
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
I
We're
understand.
just trying to say to people, there's an alternative way to live that doesn't involve harming animals. And if we don't have to harm animals, why do we?
Well, we do because we like the taste of it.
But there's a difference between like a need and a want, right? I mean, the reason these animals are here, or they should be here, is the same reason that we're here. Is to
100%.
live their life, do what they want to do. At the end of the day, every animal, whether it's a dog, a cat, a human, a chicken, feels pain, has a preference to live their life, and has the ability to feel love at varying degrees. But these animals, they have friends, they have family, they have companionship, just like we do. And at the end of the day, what we have to ask ourselves is, what right do we have as an individual, or even as a species, to inflict pain and suffering and ultimately death onto these animals that wish to avoid pain, suffering and death?
Yeah, no, I completely agree with that.
Yeah,
definitely.
good, yeah.
100%. I think the work you're doing here is really good as well.
If someone was hurting a dog or something here, every single one of us would step in and stop them, but unfortunately, one of us aren't aware of is when we buy bacon or cheese or whatever, we're paying for an animal to be hurt in the exact same way that dog would be if they were being abused here now. Yeah. Have you ever thought about it before?
Not really, now you mention it.
Yeah. When you buy like a piece of meat or whatever it is, do you ever consciously think about the fact it came from an animal, or do you just kind of just purchase it?
To be honest, I just purchased it. Really.
I did the same.
I've not actually thought about it.
This is the thing, right? We go into a supermarket and we see a piece of steak and it's wrapped in plastic, and maybe there's a picture of like a smiling cow, probably not.
You have an idea that free range is like ranging out over like a pasture or something?
It's kind of ingenious what they've done, because when we read like a marketing label like free range, we apply our view of freedom. And to us, freedom is living your own life, doing what you want, being able to explore the world. That's our idea of freedom. So when we see free range in a packet of eggs or on the chicken or whatever it is, we think, well, those animals have lived a wonderful life, because that's what we view freedom to be. It's a complete lie. There we go.
Clearly not.
Unfortunately, in a free-range egg farm, for example, they can legally house 16,000 birds per barn, which means they can illegally house 9 birds per square metre of space. So it's tiny, and many of these animals never get to go outside at all. So it's a complete scam.
Awful.
Yeah.
More people need to know about this stuff.
Veganism is by no means being perfect. No one can be perfect. It's just about doing the bare minimum that we can to make this world a better place, not just for the animals, but for the environment, and indeed for ourselves as well, by eating healthier, eating things that are more cost effective.
Having this kind of shit in our consciousness. That's already something that because it is hypocrisy when we go to a fine restaurant where everything is cool and you have a romantic dinner with like you stick your fork in a poor animal like that, So
and I think Christmas time's a really kind of poignant moment, because we all get together as a family at Christmas. We celebrate, unity, togetherness, love, companionship, and we do that by eating a dead animal. And it's like, let's celebrate the love of Christmas by eating tortured animals.
It's just, we're so used to going and getting chicken from the supermarket.
There we are.
Hang on a minute, that chicken was just killed.
There we go.
But us.
Yeah, we don't think about that.
Yeah,
we're so detached from the process, right? Do you think that there's a difference between eating a dog and eating a pig?
Of course there ain't, really, when you put it into that perspective, there ain't, isn't there?
But would you eat it?
Of course you will, because you're pet.
Right. Have you ever heard of veganism?
I've heard of, I know a friend of mine who I work with, vegan himself.
Yeah?
But,
how does he find it?
He seems to get on perfectly happy. I mean, I've never considered it myself, but like I said, I've never really thought about it.
I mean, I guess the thing is, do we need to eat animals or animal products to live, or can we survive without them?
We could probably do without it, really.
Have you ever thought about veganism then?
Yeah, I've tried a few times.
Good for you.
At uni, I study wildlife conservation and wildlife crime and everything like this, but I've never actually gotten to become, because in my head I thought organic farms and organic meats and all were okay, so I was all locally produced, that's fine, I'm helping the environment, but clearly not with all this.
Are you vegan?
Yeah, so all of us here are vegans. So we don't eat animals or honey or eggs. We don't wear fur or leather or silk or anything like that. Because we don't have to, and all veganism preaches is to do what's possible and practicable, and there was a time where we needed to eat meat to live, but it doesn't exist anymore.
Yeah, no, that's very
and especially
true.
in cities, especially in places like Bournemouth or wherever, you've got an abundance of vegan foods in like Zizzi's and Pizza Express, Tesco, Sainsbury's, all have vegan options now, plant milks, vegan ice creams, vegan cheeses. And because we don't need to do it anymore, it becomes very hard to morally justify it because it's an unnecessary act of cruelty inherently.
It is, definitely. No, I think I'm seriously going to think about it anyway.
A free range farm, for example, like for eggs, chickens, where they're roam around, they're free.
Do you think that that's true? Do you think they are?
Not in this country.
Right. Do you think those labels are maybe a bit of a lie?
Of course they are. It's just a way of getting you to buy the product, mate.
Yeah, you know it, right? You already know all this. I think most people do. I think most people are aware that we are being lied to when we go into a supermarket, we see the label free range or whatever. But we almost buy it because it makes us feel better. Because we feel like it is doing a good thing.
Better buying it, and I don't feel better for what's happening to the animals, I won't lie to you. But it's just a case that it's something of everyday life, isn't it? You know
the question is, I agree, but the question is, does it have to be, right? Now this is it. There we go. With things like tradition and habit, we do stuff so often and we get into a routine of doing it that it almost becomes second nature. And I think for a lot of people, we don't question whether or not we agree with what we're doing, and we just act on impulse and we unconsciously do it. We've reduced animals to nothing more than objects.
Yeah.
They're numbers, you know, they're commodities.
Be like that at all.
It shouldn't.
No.
But unfortunately, when you breed an animal with the sole purpose of killing them, there's going to be no respect along that process because you've already decided that they're here for you to die.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, and look, these people aren't bad people for doing what they do. They are raised in a system that says this is acceptable.
Yeah.
And the only reason this happens is because we pay for it to happen.
That is true, yeah. We're funding it.
We fund it, that's exactly right. And we look at the actions of people in slaughterhouses and we think that they must be evil people, but we're the ones that are funding them to do it. And it's hypocritical of us to point the finger at them when they're only in these jobs because we're allowing
those jobs
them.
available. Yeah.
That's exactly right.
No, I agree.
So do you have cars or anything like that at all?
Yeah, I'll give you one if you're interested.
Definitely.
These are all free to watch. The one I really like is 101 Reasons to Go Vegan. Free to watch on YouTube. Doesn't have any graphic footage. What's really good about it is it talks us about why we eat animals and kind of the psychology behind it, and why we view like pigs differently to dogs. Because no one in the UK is really going to eat a dog. Can you imagine? There'd be uproar if we were eating dogs. But for some reason we view pigs as being different. I mean, I guess morally, do you think there's anything different between eating a dog and eating a pig? Or
Animals.
they're all animals, aren't they?
So
That's it. They all think and feel the same. And I guess the point is they all feel pain, and we have to ask ourselves, what right do we have to inflict pain and death onto an animal if they wish to avoid it? And do you think that veganism is something that's, because we're all vegan, do you think it's something that's becoming more common?
It is actually. My mate is.
Yeah. How does he like it?
He likes it. He eats soy meat and stuff.
Yeah.
And to be fair, I'm not gonna lie, he made me some food that's fucking awesome.
Right. Good man.
It's spicy.
Yeah, right. It can be, can it? What do you think would stop you from trying it?
What do you mean, like not eating an animal?
Yeah, just trying veganism. What would stop you?
Nothing really. That's the thing. Like for me, for example, I've bought vegan food before.
Good.
For example, when I just fancy it, I'd buy it.
Right.
That's how it is really.
Good. Yeah.
But yeah, I kind of respect why you're here, but everyone's got their own point of views, haven't they?
When it comes down to choice, I think I agree with you that we should respect others' choices, and that's why I'm vegan, because I think we should respect the choice of the animals who want to live. So you say you tried veganism, but obviously it didn't work out.
Yeah,
maybe,
it was just more like I've tried going vegetarian. My mum's vegan, but I've tried it so many times. But every time I go, like a few weeks or a few months later, it comes down pretty much.
That's right.
Yeah,
it's the cravings, isn't it?
Yeah,
but you shouldn't let it get the better of you. But
it's easy to understand why it does. We've eaten all these products since all our life, right?
Yeah.
And we become accustomed to the taste. It's almost an addiction of sorts because we crave that kind of flavour and that texture. And all you have to do is start to connect the product with the animal.
Yeah.
So when you get a craving for bacon or for cheese, whatever it is, think about where that product's come from.
Yeah.
So when you're in a supermarket, there we go, look at the piece of bacon and see that pig. And unfortunately that means we have to kind of face this footage and we have to watch it and we have to see it, because that's the best way.
But if that's what it takes, then people should be watching it.
Because the problem is when we turn away from this footage, we're denying these animals their life. And we're kind of saying that their suffering doesn't matter to us.
Yeah, no, that is very true.
But are we animals?
Yeah. So we wouldn't eat each other.
But,
We wouldn't go eating each other.
no, we wouldn't, no. But what I'm trying to, I guess, say is, if the animals have a preference to live, should we respect their preference?
What you should.
Can we respect their preference if we eat them?
Not really.
Not really.
Murdering them, no.
There we go, murdering, you use that word, right?
Yeah.
Do you think it is murder?
Yeah, in some sense it is over here, for example.
Yeah.
Like, without sounding horrible,
So
in other cultures as well. Over here, for example, they have different ways of killing them, which they say is more humane, but still killing an animal.
So would you classify yourself as a murderer in that sense then?
Not really, but I class myself as the person involved in the murder.
Involved in the murder. And most importantly, you know, at the end of the day, you know that you're helping the animals. And for me, that's why I'm vegan. But there's so many different reasons to be vegan, and it's healthier, it's better for the environment, and it's just worth trying, you know. Because the way I see it is, you've got nothing to lose from trying it.
Well, that's it. You don't know if you don't try.
You don't know if you don't try. That's it. So you've got nothing to lose from trying it, and everything to gain. Because you might feel, you know, you get more energy, you sleep better, you know, and you make a powerful difference to the lives of others who are suffering greatly. Have a little look anyway. Just work your way through them and see what you think. And as I say, you can only learn. And I always say to people, don't take what I say at face value. Do your own research and see what you come up with. And if you look further into it and you think, wow, this is really terrible what we're doing to animals, it's important that you realise the only reason these things happen to animals is because we pay for them to. And if we change what we eat and we buy different things, plants, vegan options, what we do is we stop these terrible things from happening. So we have all the power to change it.
Yeah, it's a friend of mine who I'm working with now. He's vegan himself, so I mean, another person I can always speak to.
There we go.
Cheers for that. I'll definitely take on.
Thank you very much. Take care. The only way that we learn is to talk to each other, right? And then we take what we've learned from each other and explore it ourselves and see if we agree with it.
Digest it and then something comes out
There
of
we
it
go.
from our own.
There we
it has
go.
to be authentic, otherwise I'm not gonna be. I cannot be vegan because you told me
Exactly.
to, or somebody else did. You know.
None of us here in the world are vegan because someone made us vegan. We're vegan because we saw something or heard about something which encouraged us to look into ourselves, and then we've believed it to be the best thing to do. Yeah. You use the word humane. Do you think there's a humane way to kill an animal that doesn't want to die? No. It's something we're told, right?
It's like, for example, if you've got a fucking dog that someone killed it, is that humane? No, it's not.
Right, exactly.
It's a dog. So I get your point. What's the difference between a cow, or a sheep, or a chicken? There ain't none.
There ain't one. It's all the same. All the animals are the same in the sense that they all want to live and they all suffer, right?
Yeah.
Just like we do.
That's it. It is, it's true.
Yeah.
You're right, actually.
Yeah.
That's what.
Nice. Can I give you a card really quick? This is a really great website here, though, challenge22.com. Why it's so good is you sign up to take a 22-day pledge to try veganism.
Okay.
And what it is someone, you get assigned a mentor, which is someone who'll give you recipes, advice, they'll tell you what cafes and restaurants you have in your local area, all for free completely.
Okay, I'm going to do that.